Today, we're going to talk about fan service, and I don't know why it gets such a bad rap, because every nerd's got to take care of these things, otherwise they get a little loud. So, if you want to learn how, stick around. Let's get into it. So, like I was joking around, fan service is a serious business because what it comes down to is your computer can start to get a little louder over time, and eventually you're going to need to replace those fans unless you do a little bit of work on it. Now, that can come down to the case fan or something like this, and we just need to add a little oil in there. Or maybe you're like me and you've got some fancy laptop. Now, I've had this one for a while. I'm trying out overhead camera here as well. Ooh, fancy. I've had this one for a while, and I actually did not just a little bit of maintenance on it to begin with, but I even fixed things a little bit, because on here the fans were so loud that the whole unit was vibrating slightly. But what I was able to do is use some little silicone bumpers here, basically little rubber washers, and mount it between the fan and the unit as a vibration dampener, and some oil. Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily have to be this oil, but I tend to trust sewing machine oil. I suppose it's probably mostly from growing up and always seeing my mom use it and keep hers in good shape for a long time. And man, if a sewing machine's going to be all right with this stuff, I think our fans are going to be okay. So what do we need to do? First, gonna shut this thing down. We're going to start with the laptop, and then we'll move on to the case fan as well. My real old now iFixit kit. Still going strong. If you don't already have some of these, oh my goodness. Magnetic trays like this are amazing. This is just from like Harbor Freight, or, you know, if AliExpress is your thing, go for it. If you've also got a WinMax 2, the amazing little covers to cover up the controllers, but hey, almost tried to pull it off with those still in there. That would be a problem. And some screws on the back. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, there we go. In case you're wondering, this is the WinMax 2, the original WinMax 2, if you can consider a number 2 the original, but they've been remaking this same model name for a bunch of years now. This is the 6800U. All right, and here's our buddy right there, our fan. Just loosen that up, and I'll show you what we did for the dampeners. Here we go. And you can just see a little bumper friend here, and another one I've just knocked loose on the back side as well. All right, it's just a little tape holding it on. Like I say, we're in here for maintenance anyway. And basically, these little bumpers here I picked up on AliExpress. I found different ones on Amazon, but it was just easier to be able to pick out the size from AliExpress. I'll put a link in the description so you can see that. All right, so what are we up to in here? Well, dust. Yeah, pull out those dust bunnies from the back. Now, if I had plastic tweezers, I'd feel a lot more comfortable about being cavalier in here, but I'm trying to be real careful. I don't want to accidentally shear something off the motherboard when I'm not paying attention. Okay, let's give this a quick blow out. And here's what we're going to be working with. On the fan itself, there's this sticker, and that sticker, sure, it's keeping track of the stats of the fan and everything for you and the brand, but underneath here is actually a little spot for maintenance, effectively, to be able to put a little bit of oil in there. And this is not a regular, well, this is not an often thing. So maybe this is once every couple of years, just like a drop, maybe two, and that's it. There we go. I say that, but I did totally put a drop in here when I first got it because this fan was loud and it did make a big difference. Yeah, this is a little fan, that's plenty. Seal it back down. Get that moving. Make sure the oil's getting moved around in there. All right, let's put it back together. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it is fiddly as all get out putting these little bumpers back on there. And what it comes down to is the fan is gonna go in place, but the bumpers are gonna go on the bottom side and have the screw pass through it so that the bumper is between the fan and the chassis. And that's gonna dampen the vibration when the fan does go a little wild still, so that the whole thing doesn't shake and quake. It's got vibration motors in there. It's a little tiny gaming adorable laptop, but I don't want this to be one of them. Okay, so if you happen to have a WinMax 2 as well, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, so there's two screws, one in the front and one in the back. Long one's going in the back. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of my little bumpers and go ahead and slide it on in the back first, right? So I got my screw pass through there, little bumper on here. I'm just gonna use my little tweezers to just kind of hold that, try and keep it from falling through. I gave up, use my fingers maybe. Okay. Fiddly time. I'm gonna use this front one for the moment to just kind of anchor it in place. And the classic trick on any kind of screw, like any screw, when you don't want to cross the threads, is start by going backwards and wait till you hear a little click. All right, definitely in there, but just barely tight for the moment. Now let's bring in the other one. This one's going to be fiddlier. I can do it without blocking. Feel pretty good about that. I'm gonna go backwards first. There's my click. Forward. I'm not gonna crank it down, but a little more tension than I usually would because I do want to squish that rubber a little bit. Just so I'm not taking up extra space in here. Okay, got my shocks. Plug the fan back in. Feels good. Let's get the bottom back on this thing. Okay, and I'm just gonna put a couple of screws in for the moment. I want to try it first. Now, I don't remember for this one, one of the challenges you can run into with this, basically I don't want to put all these screws in just to have to take them back out if something didn't work right, but one of the challenges you can run into is some laptops, some systems use screws like this for connecting different grounding points, so there's a chance it won't turn on. Let's find out. Got a light. Okay, let's see if I can crank the fans, or crank the system so the fans go up. I gotta wait for the utility to load. There it is. Go big. Close stuff. Cut all that. We got fan. Oh, and that's quieter again. Oh, thank goodness. Screw you, NordVPN. Oh man, don't get me wrong, the fan is blowing, but so much better. All right, gonna do a bit of a sound test here. Just finished running Time Spy Extreme on here. Got the power set to maximum I'm able on here. Let's just run a second time. Oh gosh, I am super happy with how that turned out. Like, it's not quiet, but it's so much better and like very reasonable. Okay, so now we come to our main desktop fan, and you might see that bottle of oil over there, but yeah, not this time, folks. So what it comes down to is a lot of really nice fans like this Noctua and some other ones here are sealed, which is to say that, yeah, there's a sticker on the other side we'll see in a second, but man, there's just some plastic under that. There's no place to put in some oil. But that's okay. That means that it's a higher quality and you don't need to do that maintenance. Hey, there's our sticker. But there's other maintenance. Check it out. Oh my God, look at the dust. So yeah, folks, get in there, dust them off, get them clean. Because if nothing else, like even if it's still blowing air, that's just that much more dust to get deposited on your heatsink. Okay, and finally, our chassis itself. Got to get those heat sinks and everything else. All right, so I've already taken care of quite a bit here. I know it's super dusty, but oh man, it's so much better than it was. Got that one fan reattached already, but and mine, there's a middle one here as well. So if you've got like a little vacuum or a little blower, it's a real good idea. For me, I don't actually have one. A can of duster would work well. I would say if you've got like a full-on air compressor, do not use it. I mean, you might be just fine, but I fully had a friend accidentally blow a component off of a motherboard and have to test their soldering skills to try and get things working again. So yeah, don't go extreme. A little vacuum or something's good. Or hey, if you're like me, all right, maybe you got that giant pack of yellow microfiber cloths from Costco. Yeah, all right, here we go. Okay, so just getting in there, get all the dust out you can. In a second here, I'm gonna get a metal rod as well to just be able to reach a little better. Okay, and like any other cleaning, I'd say top down, right? Because things are gonna be falling as you work, and just keep working the whole way down, get them all cleaned out. And in the end, you will very likely find that, like me, your system is running a bit quieter, a bit cooler, even without doing anything else, right? So little fan maintenance, little spring cleaning, it's time, y'all. This continues to be a blast. I know I've been quiet for a little while, but you know, we'll see how it goes. But there's a real good chance I'm going to see y'all again next week. For everybody who's been hanging around, everybody who's been enjoying them, I really appreciate it. If you're new, hey, welcome. Y'all rock. See you next time. Fall, dust, fall! You are so weird.